If you are feeling lost or stuck in a rut or just have no idea what to tell someone when they ask you to tell them about yourself, then this video is most definitely for you, because by the end of this, I am hoping and praying that you will have all of the tools to be able to break up with your current self and get back to you, who you really are before the world pretty much told you who to be. Feels like nowadays everyone is carbon copies of each other, and you need to figure out who you are in order to get to the future you. That is the key to all of this. And I'm going to teach you exactly how to do that, how to become the future version of yourself that you know that you can be, and how to get your dream life. Wow. I fear I may look like a YouTube pro, and this is my first proper sit-down video that you have the pleasure of watching for the first time. You may know me from giving relationship advice online and dating advice, but I've thought long and hard about what my first long-form YouTube video would be. And this has been something that I've been dealing with over the last 9 months, I want to say, and has really hit home for me, which is self-identity and who you really are. And so I thought it was the most fitting thing that the first video I ever post on YouTube like this would be about the most important relationship that you will ever have in your entire lifetime. And that is the relationship that you have with yourself. I'll be honest, it has been a year of loss and grief and soul searching for me, which is why you're only just now seeing a YouTube video. Trust me, I have wanted to do this for the longest time, but life has somewhat held me back. But also, I think I've realised throughout this that I have very much so held myself back. But 9 months later, I'm just about there and feel like I have quite literally rebirthed a whole new version of myself. And I'm so thankful for it. Funny story. The first session I ever had with my therapist, the first question she asked me was, "Who is Chloe?" And I was stumped because I had absolutely no idea what to tell her. In fact, she found it quite funny that in me trying to answer that, I actually told her labels, that I was a great sister, I was a great daughter, I was a really good girlfriend, but I couldn't actually tell her the essence of who I was as a person, because what actually makes me me. So I want you to take a pen and paper, or just write this down in your notes app, but ask yourself the same question. Who are you really? Underneath the masking, underneath the people pleasing, underneath the performing, who are you when no one else is watching? Who were you when you were a child and you still dared to dream big? What were the things that you loved? What were the things that you felt passionate to talk about? And what were the things that you felt connected with in some kind of way? Write them down. This is the core essence of who you are. This is you. When I did this exercise, I unlocked some memories of mine as a child that I kind of just thought I'd stored away and forgotten about, but I'm going to tell you about them because I think there's a good lesson to be learned from this. When I was younger, I distinctly remember being so excited about painting my room green because that was my favourite colour. And I actually have a photo of myself doing this, looking so happy and so cute in my little apron, because that was my kind of way of expressing myself, and I'm so grateful that my parents allowed me to do that. However, and this is as early as preschool, as soon as I found out that my friend's favourite colour was pink, and that was the cool colour to have as your favourite colour, I immediately changed my favourite colour from green to pink because I wanted to fit in. I wanted to make friends, I wanted to be liked, and more people liked this thing rather than me who really loved the colour green, but all of a sudden felt embarrassed that I was different and didn't fit in. The same kind of experience happened when I got a little bit older and I was in reception. And I remember being so excited because one week my mum had actually given me school money for me to go and get a hot school dinner. And I had been the girlie who goes in with a ham sandwich every single day without fail to school. So this was a huge deal to me. And I can't remember exactly what it was that I had to eat as the main meal because trauma has overwritten that, but I was so excited to have this chocolate mousse as a dessert afterwards. And I remember being sat across a table from a boy who made a joke about me eating the chocolate pudding and saying that I was eating poo. Now, as a small, impressionable child, I then felt embarrassed to eat the dessert because I didn't want to be made fun of, and so then decided not to eat it instead of say, you know what? I don't care. I'm going to eat it anyway. And I think that that is the core of where my people pleasing and masking behaviors came from. It was learnt at such a young age. I want to say 3 to 4 years old. And when you look at them individually, they aren't really big things. But for a child at that time who was that impressionable and just wanted to make friends and be liked, that was a huge deal. And so over time, I learnt that in order to be liked, I had to shrink myself, become less of myself, and people please. And over time, that suddenly became my norm, and I lost sight of myself and who I actually was at the beginning, genuinely to the point where I didn't even recognize myself anymore. In this industry of social media, one of the buzzwords that we hear all the bloody time is to be authentic, to be authentically yourself. I don't know. I guess I struggled with knowing how to be authentic because how can you be authentically you when you don't even know who you are anymore? And so on my journey to finding myself, my real self, I asked myself, what does it mean to truly be authentic? And I'm going to put the actual definition of it on screen here, but I'm just going to read it to you because I've got it on my iPad. It is defined as not false, not imitation, but real, actual, true to one's own personality, spirit, and character. But my interpretation of that is to feel safe, to feel like you can speak what's on your mind and not be judged, whether it's good or bad. Feeling like you can take up space and just be yourself. It's vulnerability and not being scared to show such perceived weakness to the world. Simply put, it's drowning out, ignoring, and not giving a crap about other people's perceptions, opinions, or judgments of you, and you continuing to show up as yourself unapologetically, no matter what. And yes, you might disappoint people, you might upset people, you might unintentionally trigger people along the way. And hey, some people might just straight up dislike you for it, but that's okay because you are showing up unapologetically as yourself and honoring your true self every single time. And babe, when you do that, the people that fuck with you will really, really ride for you. And the people that don't are just simply not aligned. And the more I sat with that, the more I started to question why you would want everybody to like you anyway. The people that have everybody that like them, they either don't have an opinion, are not speaking their full truth, or are being performative online. So therefore, if everybody likes them, they don't even really like them because they're not showing up authentically as themselves anyway. It's all smoke and mirrors. It's fake news, babe. Impossible. So stop pretending to be somebody that you're not and just show up as yourself. The world does not need a 2.0 of anybody else that exists. The whole purpose of you being here is for you to be you, yourself. Find yourself. Who you are is your superpower. As cringe as that sounds, it's true. So by now, I would like to think that you are aware of who you are at your core if you have been writing down those things at the beginning and figured out who you were as a child and what the things were that you enjoyed before people perhaps changed how you chose to show up. Now you have that, I want you to ask yourself if you honor that child, the things that they love to do and got excited about and were passionate about in your present moment, in your current day-to-day, do you do the things that, in its simplest form, bring you joy? How do you typically spend your time? What routines do you follow? Do you make time to do any of the things that used to bring you joy? And if not, why the hell not? Without you even realizing, you are putting yourself last by not doing those things for yourself. I would know because this is something that I have done for a very long time. I am a huge empath, and so I put everybody else before myself and my own needs a lot of the time. I'm trying and getting better at not doing that as much anymore and putting myself first. However, I think for a long time I feared that people would think that I was being selfish and take it the wrong way. Even when the people around me have been supportive and told me that I absolutely should be putting myself first, I still found it really difficult to, even when I knew the things that I wanted to do. And partially that probably is to do with having ADHD, but also I would just procrastinate the tasks that I really wanted to do, probably out of fear of failing or fear of success too, and then having the constant pressure of having to evolve and pivot and be better, continue to show up for myself. I was telling myself constantly, oh, I just like slow mornings. Oh, I'm not really a morning person. I work better in the evenings. Oh, it's just how I am. That's just how things work. Girl, if you are looking at yourself like that, you are telling yourself that those things are definite about you, that those things cannot be changed. You are attaching yourself to the identity of somebody that is forever going to be stuck in this same routine. Weirdly, I knew these things deep inside. I knew that if I didn't change my routine or my habits, then my environment wouldn't change. However, did that actually, at that point in time, make me change and show up differently? No, it did not. Until one day, I became so tired of my own bullshit, of my own excuses, that I decided that I was going to start small and just decide to do one thing that was different with my routine every single day and commit to it. And that thing was reading. Because how does the saying go? If you do the same thing every single day and expect change, you are a crazy person. So I started small. And the book that I first started reading was The Power of Your Subconscious Mind by, I think it's Dr. J. Murphy. I could be wrong. And it was only upon reading that I actually really internalized that idea that I already had and knew within me, but I started to view it in a different way. In the book, it kind of explains that your subconscious mind is the part of your mind that just accepts everything that you tell it at every point in the day, that it is true. So, whether you are telling yourself negative thoughts, you're not speaking to yourself very nicely, or you are doubting yourself, you don't believe in yourself, you believe your environment is always going to stay the exact same as it is, then that is exactly what is going to happen. It's almost a bit like a sponge. And it mentions that actually the way that we've been taught a lot of things in this life is potentially incorrect, and that you are so much more powerful than you think you are, because it is your mind, your energy, which is what the whole universe is made up of, that gets to change your immediate reality. And it sounds very woo woo, but in a roundabout way, if you do not believe in yourself and you do not believe things to be true or possible for you, then you will never take the action to get yourself there. And the more negativity and harmful things that you consume, I guess, are things that are going to gradually over time rewire your brain, and not in the best way. So, from reading that, I then actively decided that I was going to consume less than I create. Especially with my career being in social media, it's such a blurred line to know what is for work and what is for casual downtime. I would oftentimes make an excuse and tell myself I was doing research whilst in an endless doom scroll cycle. This was something that I had told myself that I wanted to actively do less many, many, many times before. However, for some reason, this new way of thinking about the things that I absorb and how that changes my immediate environment around me, I only wanted to make sure that I was feeding my brain with the best of the best information and kind thoughts and beliefs about myself. And at this point, because I had started to make reading a routine and a ritual, something that I would do every single day, I felt so proud because I had actually stuck to something for once. And it was just a small thing, which then gave me more confidence that actually this time round, am going to be so much better at sticking to this next goal of not spending so much time on social media, also because I've proven to myself and given myself the evidence that I can stick to things. And so I started to rewire that belief about myself, because previously I was telling myself, I start things that I can't finish. And as long as I had that mentality, that is exactly what was happening. As soon as I had started to change a little thing about my day and do the thing that I've been wanting to do and make more time for, and gradually build up that evidence that I can do things, I really started to believe in the core of my body that I was capable. I can do these things. I can be productive. I am productive and I am bettering myself. And by bettering myself, I am getting one step closer to the dream version of me every single day. So, as a result of that, me not spending as much time on social media and consuming all of this negativity that is just automatically put on my feed that I didn't give my consent to want to see at 9 a.m. in the morning, I then suddenly had so much more time in the day. Oh my goodness me, I cannot tell you how productive I became. Suddenly, not only did I have more time to then do more things that I actually wanted to do, but I actually had the energy and the motivation to do them. Because me doom scrolling for multiple hours a day didn't completely zap my dopamine levels. It meant that I had a very full cup to pour into the things that I actually wanted to do. So here are the actionable things that you can do based off of what I have done and learnt to be true. You can slowly but surely change one thing about your current present reality to do more things that you love and what brought you joy in your past. This is the core of you. This is how you show up to be authentically you in the present moment. And then by doing that, those actions compound and bring to you more aligned opportunities that are going to help you slowly but surely become the dream optimal version of you that you have in your head that you know that you can become. The more you become consistent in showing up in this way, without you even realizing it, you are showing up every single day as the highest version of yourself. So therefore, it is only going to be a matter of time before your external reality catches up with your internal reality. I think one thing that has really reigned true with me through this is that when I was younger, I would often hear adults tell me that everything I need is in here. And it has taken me 27 years on this earth to realize that to be true, and that genuinely you really can create your own reality by really going on a journey to find who you are and figuring out what your true identity is in this world. So be more you. As cliche as that sounds, show up more unapologetically than ever as yourself and watch the world change around you. I hope this resonated with you in the same way that it did with me. I'm going to, in the description of this video, give you some more books that I think would be a good idea for you to read if you found this interesting, because I have just scraped the surface on this and I think could probably go a hell of a lot deeper into it. But that is quantum physics, and I am most definitely not a doctor. But yes, this has been one of the things I spoke about in this entire video that I have been wanting to do for the longest time. I did it. And if I can do it, you can do it. Anything is truly possible. Have the best rest of your day, whatever you're doing, or night if it's nighttime. I love you lots. If you would like to see more of these kinds of videos, please do let me know what you would like to see from me. I think I'm going to set up an email actually for you guys to send in specific questions or topics that you would like advice on, so I can better address those in a much longer form video like this and help you out. Love you so much. Thank you for watching.